in the last class? What did we do in the last class? That's the question.
So we completed the dynamic logic part,
Hmm.
the interconnection and all those things, and then we started sequential circuits.
So what were the things that we covered in the dynamic logic?
Different challenges
Like,
charge sharing, charge leakage, or gate
How to
feed
cascade
through.
dynamic gates one after
hmm.
another,
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
and problems related to that.
in the previous class
This
we
will
had covered.
lead to the domino circuit.
Yeah, in the previous class we had started with the domino logic and looked at just one or two problems linked to domino logic. In the last class we covered more aspects of challenges that we face when we have dynamic logic, and then how to cascade different stages. How to place one stage of dynamic logic next to another, and so on. And we looked at Nora logic. We looked at methods to handle, or so to say, reduce the number of transistors, handle some challenges in different ways, and so on. And subsequently, we started with, so amongst the combinational logic circuits, we also discussed that ratioed logic, we cannot guarantee a full VDD or a full ground. In other logic methods, and similarly even for pass transistor logic or transmission gate or pass transistor logic particularly, again there can be VG drops. We use transmission logic gates to prevent that, and then dynamic logic has a full VDD and two ground swing at the output. And ratio logic is one that does not offer us that flexibility or does not give us that benefit. Then we'll move to sequential logic. So what is sequential circuit design? Why are the sequential circuits needed? Why are sequential circuits needed?
Some basically for storing like memory operations.
Okay, for storing data. Okay, storing information. And
So counters and
Like
finite
when
state
we
machines.
counters and something. And और क्या बोला था किसी ने अभी?
State machines.
Finite state machines, yes. And we talked about this topic in a little more detail. We went to optical fibers, fiber to the homes example. What were we talking about then?
So pipelining structures.
Pipelining. So why do we need pipelining?
So to
Sir, to
introduce
increase
parallelism in our computing and have high throughput.
To increase parallelism, to improve throughput, and being able to therefore operate at a higher frequency. So we were looking at two primary applications of sequential circuits: finite state machines and pipelining. Okay, and in terms of pipelining, we also talked about another aspect of enabling pipelining. What is that? What is the overhead linked to pipelining?
Sequencing overhead.
Why is that needed? Or what is it composed of according to you?
Sir, that's the
So
concept to
setup and
delay fast, so as to delay the flip-flop, so that we can move the token very fastly like that.
Okay, so the idea was that when you will go through the pipeline, if there was no pipeline, you would only have combinational stages and you would simply pass through and you will give an output in, say, duration X. Now you put in 4 stages of pipeline, so there are 3 sets of flops in between, and their delay gets added. That is the sequencing overhead. Is this thing
Sir?
clear? Yes.
Sir, I have a small doubt. Like token is just like instruction, right? Or something else.
Uh, token is just like instruction. Okay, you can, if
That
you
we
want to say it
feed
like that.
in pipeline.
Token is notional. In a pipeline, token is actually notional. So we talk of tokens, primarily we talk of tokens, and when we have asynchronous pipelines, which means that we have pipeline stages without clocks. Okay, but in clocked pipelines, token is notional. We say that okay, my data is presently in the first stage of pipeline, then in the second stage, then it moves to the third stage. So it is carrying a token. Let us say something like that. But there is no physical, or there's no actual token that you're talking about. It's just data that has moved from different stages of pipelines. In an asynchronous thing, you will probably have a token, which is something like a ready signal, that okay, now my output is ready, now go to the next stage. Now my output
Right.
is ready, now go to the next stage.
In synchronous, we won't be, right?
In synchronous, there is clock. So clock is what is doing the stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So then we looked at two kinds of sequential circuits. What were they? We started to look at that.
Flip-flops and latches.
Flip-flop and latch.
Flip-flops and latches. So what is the difference between a flip-flop and a latch?
Flip-flop is edge triggered and latch is level triggered.
What do you mean by that? You're right. You're absolutely right in that. But what do you mean by that?
So latch follows the input at the like positive clock, like when clock is 1. But flip-flop only like trigger like gives the output at the edge only. Like what is the value of input at edge, like triggering edge? At that edge only, like flip-flop give the output.
So actually, Vatsal, it is not really linked to the output. When I say a level triggered latch, then what I'm saying is that the latch will sample when the level is that, if it is a high level triggered latch, then when the level is high, that is when the latch will sample the data, sample the input. And when I'm talking about an edge triggered flip flop, what I'm saying is that the flip flop will sample at the edge. Output will come after some time. Output doesn't come at the edge, but the sampling of the input happens at the edge. Is this clear? This is very important because this is not really clarified in any books, and I've seen students from multiple places getting confused on this aspect. It is not really to the output that we say level triggered or edge triggered. It is actually sampling. When are you sampling the data? Okay. In a level triggered latch, you are sampling it throughout the entire duration when the clock is at that level. In an edge triggered, you're just sampling at the edge when the clock rises or when the clock falls, depending on whether it's a positive edge triggered flop or a negative edge triggered flop. Okay.
Sir?
Yes, Naman.
Sir, is there any voltage reference like from at 0.3 voltage in clock, the sampling will happen like something like 1 volt or?
So when we're talking about digital, let's not get into that kind of details. So what we do is we say that the delays are measured from 40 to 60. That 40% of rise and 60% of fall, or 60% of rise and 40% of fall, and so on. Okay, but that would change if you're operating at a very high voltage. Suppose you are in a 0.18 micron technology and operating at 3 or 3 volts, then 40% or 60% of VDD doesn't hold any significance. Your sampling will start to happen even as soon as the VT of the NMOS is crossed. So when we are at this level of abstraction, where you say कि timing kahan se aaya, so you simply go with some basic specification. 60% rising to 40% falling, and so on. Okay. So you say rising edge of the clock is the sampling edge. You're talking about the edge. You're not talking about 20% of that rising edge or 15% of that rising edge. Your setup time is defined with the rising edge. That's it. Keep it simple. Is that okay?
सर बट
Hello?
उसके लिए मतलब हमको स्लोप पे मतलब स्लोप कंट्रोल करना पड़ेगा ना, लाइक पर्टिकुलर स्लोप पे मतलब वैरी करेगा ना हर एक, मतलब
हाँ
अगर
हाँ
डिफरेंट स्लोप
ठीक
होगा
है,
तो किसी के लिए
सैम्पलिंग शुरू हो जाएगी पहले, लेकिन सैंपल वो फिर भी एज पे ही करेगा। जो ही खत्म हो गया, जो ही आपका पीमॉस और एनमॉस ऑफ हो गए, तब सैम्पलिंग नहीं कर पाएगा। दैट्स ओके।
हाँ
इतना इतना सो स्लोप इज ऑल्सो, जो आप लोगों में से जो भी लोग फ्लॉप्स पे काम करने वाले हैं, you will anyway characterize for a different range of slopes, so that's fine. It will be characterized, it will be available. ठीक है ना? सी उस तरह से तो इन्वर्टर भी अगर स्लोप खराब होगी तो बहुत पहले से काम करना शुरू कर देगा, कब खत्म करेगा ये तो आप हर सर्किट के लिए कह सकते हो। Why just a flop and why just a latch? Every circuit is like this. There is an analog behavior to every circuit, but it's okay. Let us remain with the digital part, digital aspect of it. Okay, rising edge, falling edge, and high level and low level. I'm not even talking about what is the voltage at the high level. I'm just saying high level and low level. Is that okay?
यस सर।
So when I say it is about sampling, what we are talking about is that if for a latch, there is a change in data in the positive, suppose this is a positive edge triggered latch, positive level latch, then any change in data will reflect on the Q pin during the positive level of the clock. And in the flop, because this change has arrived after the clock edge, nothing appears. On the other hand, this data which has toggled before the clock edge, it will appear simultaneously for both latch and flop at the rising edge of the clock. Is this timing diagram clear? This is essentially what we're talking about as sampling window. Okay, so latches can be designed in many different ways. What is a latch? A latch is simply, okay, I will allow the data to be passed out or I will not allow. So a simple switch, a simple pass transistor can be considered to be a latch. If you just send clock to its gate, it's a latch, is it not? It's a switch. It will not allow D to pass through or it will allow D to pass through. But what are its advantages and disadvantages? Now that you have already understood pass transistor logic, you can easily say this.
You might not get the full value of D at the Q output because you would have a VT drop.
Yes. So at first, the advantage is that it's very small. Just one transistor, done. Clock only sees the load of one transistor. Again, very, very cheap in terms of power. But there is a VT drop. VT drop when you want to transfer one from D to Q. Am I right? So does not really suit us today in today's scenarios. Okay. Another problem that we have is that, let us say this latch. Okay, there is this latch over here. And there is another latch over here. Both are driving some output. Say this latch is on and this latch is also on. This is driving 1, this is driving 0. When the clock is 1, there will be a current path from here to here. Are you able to see this? This is also something that we studied when we were looking at pass transistor logic. Are you able to see this aspect, this challenge? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is called as back driving. Means output is driving the input. Again, this is absolutely undesirable. Okay. And then there is lots of sensitivity to noise because of not really restoring stuff. If there is noise on clock, again things will start to muddle up and so on. Okay. Since there is a clock, this can also be considered as dynamic. Once the clock goes, there is nothing to store the value of Q over here, only the capacitor. Are you able to see this? So once the clock goes, D is no longer driving Q. Q has to held as charge on a capacitor. So for all practical purposes, we can consider this as a dynamic latch. Are you able
But
to see this?
if we want to use as a switch, then it is useful for us, right?
If you want to use it as a switch, then you're not even talking about a sequential design. Now, with हम latch की बात कर रहे हैं. You're talking of using it as a latch.
Okay, sir.
है ना? Otherwise, पास ट्रांजिस्टर स्विच की तरह तो आप पहले यूज कर ही रहे थे. What is the difference in this analysis? The analysis is different because now we want to consider the functionality as a latch. Okay.
So why do
Okay,
we term dynamic property of the latch as a con in the scenario we have?
Because there is nothing to hold it like that there. If there is any noise, it will get degraded. If there is leakage, the content will no longer be valid. So it needs to be refreshed.
No, I mean,
It needs,
if the clock goes, then the output must be driven to 1, right? So
but it is
has
not
to be
being driven
recharged.
to 1. No. If the clock goes, look at this latch. Let the clock go to 0. What will drive my output to 1? Or what will drive it to 0? Is there anything that can do it?
That will only happen when D would be there.
Okay, let us say D is there. D was 0. And D goes to, so D was initially 1, so I wrote a 1 VDD minus VT over here. And now D went to 0. Because D can change. That is the intent of the latch now. Whatever you have stored inside beyond the latch, that will, when the clock is not there, it is opaque. D का कुछ भी change वहां नहीं आना चाहिए.
Essentially, we're not following the dynamic property of the latch over here, basically. As in, like, you have the clock going, but there is
It's
nothing
dynamic
to
because it is holding information on a capacitor. Yeah. When you store some charge on a capacitor and then say this is my logic 1 or my logic 0, that is when you call it dynamic. And in this case, it is a disadvantage because it requires refresh. है ना? That's why it's a disadvantage.
Okay. Understood.
ठीक है?
Yeah.
So while this is very, very small, it is not really a good idea to use this kind of a latch. Another important challenge is it has diffusion input. So diffusion input के बारे में हमने पहले भी बात करी थी. What did we discuss about when we talked about diffusion input earlier? Why is diffusion input a challenge?
So the output can now influence my input. So if gate
वो तो gate back driving हो गया. Diffusion input has another challenge that we talked about.
So also now there is like substantial current flowing through gate. So if I have a capacitor at the input, that will get discharged. So if I put two of them in series and if they are different level triggers, then as soon as the next forward one opens up, then the previous one's capacitor will completely get discharged.
Okay, there will be charge sharing. I would not say will completely get discharged, but there is a bigger challenge. See,
so it has more capacitance. If we provide to the diffusion areas have more capacitance, the diffusion capacitance.
No, not exactly. The capacitance per unit micron square may be same for gate and diffusion region. It may be similar. That is not the reason.
Sir, maybe मतलब diffusion capacitance के through मतलब थोड़ा leakage बढ़ जाए.
when we discussed about 45 nanometer technology or 32 nanometer, जहाँ पे हाई के मेटल गेट नहीं थे, वहाँ पे भी गेट लीकेज तो हो ही रहा है. So gate is also leaking. That again is not a challenge. Okay, it is a challenge. We don't want it to happen, but that is not the challenge why I'm saying that diffusion input is a problem. And diffusion input was a problem even before anything else.
So isn't it similar to
So
saying
just
that you'll
to-
have a weekly drop because of the diffusion input? Isn't it similar to saying that?
No. See, I am asking you, for example, आपके जो projects हैं, I am asking you to design a OAI or a AOI or something for a particular output load driving a particular output load. है ना? You know that timings of the delay of your circuit would change significantly if the load changes. This much we have already seen.
Yes, sir.
So let us say I ask you to design an inverter. Okay. This inverter is driving this latch. There is a capacitance of 10 femtofarads over here, and there is a capacitance of 50 femtofarads over here. Let us say. ऐसा हो सकता है? Is this a realistic case?
Yes, sir.
So imagine that D is toggling. This inverter has to drive this latch when clock is equal to 0. What is the capacitance that my inverter will see?
Ten femtofarad.
What is the capacitance that it will see when Ck is equal to 1?
60 femtofarad.
So do you see that the delay of this gate has changed so significantly just because of clock status? If you want to design a big SOC, what will you give as your input capacitance? You will give this as your input capacitance because that is what is D capacitance. You do not even know what output, what all capacitance has been put on the output. At the time of designing, you do not know. So you will say that my input capacitance is this, but in reality, the circuit will see this kind of an input capacitance and the performance will completely degrade. And there is no way to control it. Are you able to see this?
So why there will be 60 femtofarad capacitance when clock is equals to 1?
Okay, you tell me. When clock equals to 1, what is this equivalent circuit like?
Okay.
है ना?
Yes, sir.
So it is 60 femtofarads. So this is one of the biggest challenges of using it in standard cells. Okay, so when you will design a standard cell, you will definitely never use this kind of a latch. Any circuit with a diffusion input is absolutely unacceptable when you're designing standard cells. Okay, so this is a very big no. Whether you're talking about a latch or we're talking about a AOI or an OAI, if in your final designs you show me something with a diffusion input, marks cut, full marks cut for the design part, because you're designing standard cells. But then you will say, if it is so bad, then why are we even talking about in the class? Okay, we are talking about it in the class because in a standard cell this is a challenge. But if I know the complete critical path, suppose I'm making an adder. In the adder, I know that how this first stage will drive the second stage, the carry in, how the carry in will, for example, transmit from one stage to another. I know the entire chain of events which will lead to the output finally. So in this unit, if I use this kind of a diffusion input, that is not a problem because this entire circuit is something that I control as a designer. When I give it to someone else to design with a standard cell, then I have no control over what kind of load will be put here. But in the circuit that I have full control over, I may still want to save area and use this kind of a circuit. That is why we are talking about this kind of topologies also. Otherwise, we would not ever talk about topologies which have diffusion input in it. But since there are other circuits that are drawn, and we are talking about circuit design over here, we talk about diffusion input circuits also.
सर
Yes.
सर जैसे अभी आपने ये वाला कंसेप्ट बताया, अगर हम कोई भी स्टैंडर्ड सेल अगर एक के बाद एक लगाएंगे तो ये वाला जो प्रॉब्लम था कि जैसे कैपेसिटर बढ़ जा रहा था बिकॉज दूसरा सर्किट ऑन हो गया था तो कैपेसिटर बढ़ जा रहा था। तो अगर हम स्टैंडर्ड सेल अगर कोई सा भी जैसे AOI एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं, वो भी अगर हम एक के बाद एक लगाएंगे तो अगर मान लीजिए जो नेक्स्ट वाले इनपुट्स हैं वो भी ऑन हो गए तो इस केस में भी सर फिर तो डिफ्यूजन इनपुट का कंसेप्ट आएगा ही
नहीं, कैसे आएगा? Consider a NAND gate. Consider a NAND gate. Let us say there are two inputs, A and B. Will the input capacitance of A depend on what is the status of B?
नहीं सर, मैं कह रहा हूँ जैसे इसके बाद एक और अगर NAND गेट है इसके
होने दो।
आउटपुट पे,
हाँ, let us say this is, so will the input capacitance of this input depend on what is the status of C?
नहीं सर।
That is the challenge. That is the thing. Look at it over here. In this circuit, there are two inputs. There is an input CK, there is an input D, and there is an output Q. This is your circuit, is it not?
Yes, sir.
And I am saying the capacitance of D is dependent on the other input.
Okay, sir.
That is not acceptable. Okay, this is a very, very important concept. That's why I'm spending time on this. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
सर
Yes.
सर यहाँ पर तो ऐसा इसलिए हो रहा है क्योंकि हम ड्रेन और गेट दोनों पर इनपुट दे रहे हैं। जब हम सर हमारा AOI और ये डिजाइन कर रहे हैं वहाँ तो हम सिर्फ गेट पर ही इनपुट दे रहे हैं सर, तो वहाँ पर तो ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए ना सर।
नहीं आएगी। अगर आप खाली गेट पे इनपुट दे रहे हो तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी। बट फॉर एग्जांपल इफ एनीवन ऑफ यू इज डिजाइनिंग अ XOR gate and using the topology of PTL or transmission gate logic that we had shown in the class, then this will be a problem there.
Yes sir.
है ना?
Yes sir.
So now amongst us there are some people who have to draw a gate AOI with a PTL logic. है ना? Some of us have to do that. So you should be able to demonstrate that, okay, my project is with PTL logic, so I cannot do anything else, but this is a challenge. This is how the capacitance, input capacitance changes with the other inputs. If you can demonstrate that, that is a very nice thing to show. And one could think of a paper in VDAT around that. It's just this analysis. Because everyone talks about diffusion input, but I rarely find anyone who understands the challenge of diffusion inputs well in the academia. Are you able to see this? Hello?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Friends, if you do not respond, I worry that my connection has gone bad. Okay, so be active. So now over there we had pass transistor logic. We say, okay, वहाँ पे VT drop था. Let's take care of the VT drop problem and let's use a transmission gate. So which all problems will still remain?
The problem of delay if we connect multiple. Okay, not there.
So diffusion input will back driving, non-restoring, all these.
Exactly. So all the other problems that we had. So VT drop is taken care of, non-restoring is taken care of, back driving is still there, output noise sensitivity, okay, can be taken care of, dynamic nature is still there, diffusion input is still there. है ना? So these three problems still remain in a transmission gate latch, and there's another problem that it requires an inverted clock now. the overall power consumption has increased. Okay. Now let us say we will put an inverter also. So what problem does the inverter solve?
A lot. So first of all, output noise sensitive, non-distorting thing goes away. Now I can restore it. I'm not dynamic anymore. And also to certain extent, my diffusion input also, I mean, yeah. So in the first case, my diffusion input also, I mean, I can handle it because now I know my output load.
In the first case, you can handle the diffusion input.
Yeah, because I know my inverter's input load, right? So I can still have an upper bound which is not unrealistic. I mean,
yeah, but there is an upper bound, but then there are two values of capacitances. What will the sign of tool use to synthesize?
okay, then yeah, fine. Okay. But yeah, I understand. Yeah. But at least it's not as bad as the previous one, because in the previous one I didn't even know
Not
what.
as bad as the previous one, but it is bad. You do not really want this also.
Yeah. Okay.
So it does take care of the problem of back gate driving. Yeah, output driving the gate again. It still is dynamic. Just see, both of them, if the clock goes off, there's nothing that is driving X. So this inverter can actually have huge short circuit current through it. Over here again, if this goes away, then there is nothing to drive the Q. So both are still dynamic. But there is no back driving. And then it takes care of either output noise sensitivity or diffusion input. If I have it like this, it takes care of diffusion input. If I have it like this, then my output noise is kind of taken care of because of the inverter being there. Okay. My output is inverted, which is okay. I think we can always use that. Or there could be, or we can say this has some more delay, but that's okay. That's not really that big a challenge. That can be managed.
So,
Okay?
So
Yes.
so how in the second case we got rid of the diffusion input case?
Yeah, because my input is now going to D.
Huh.
My D is going to
So
the gate of an inverter. Independent of the status of clock,
But I mean, you would still have the diffusion input of the transmission gate as the output of the gate of the inverter, right? As the output of the inverter. So,
no,
I mean, you
look
still
at
have
it like this. Wait. So wherever you will connect a pass transistor, then you will have diffusion input. No. What do we call as input? We are calling as input. So we have this cell. There is a CK pin, there is a D pin, there is a Q pin. Now, is the capacitance of D fixed? Or is it dependent on the other input?
It is fixed as of now, in this case.
It is fixed. Okay. Whatever happens to CK, in the second case, the input capacitance doesn't change for D.
Right.
So this is where the problem of diffusion input is handled. Now, then the next thing is you're saying that, okay, the load that this inverter sees is different. That is fine. That is fine. That can always happen. That to हमने dynamic gates में भी देखा था ना. When we were talking about charge sharing in dynamic gates, we said one set of inputs, one set of capacitors will share the charge with the output node. You change one of the inputs and you will see a completely different capacitance will come and share the charge with the output node. Therefore, it is a problem. That was what we discussed with the dynamic gates also. But that is not changing my input capacitance. See, under circuit के क्या हो रहा है? That is circuit designer will manage. That is his or her headache. But user को problem नहीं आना चाहिए.
सर बट अंदर जो हो रहा है उससे भी तो आपका सिग्निफिकेंटली फर्क पड़ेगा राइज डिले या फॉल डिले पर.
तो वो आप वर्स्ट केस देखो जो भी इसका आउटपुट आना है, लेट अस से लाइक दिस, देयर इज अ क्यू आउटपुट ओवर क्यू बार आउटपुट ओवर हियर. वो आउटपुट कब आएगा? ओनली व्हेन CK is 1.
ठीक है.
In that case, this inverter will always see this load.
Right.
So where is it changing?
I mean, when the CK is 1, so the inverter will see both the loads, right?
No, when the CK is 1, the inverter will always see this load. When the CK is 0, the inverter doesn't see, the inverter is not expected to drive the Q. The Q is supposed to hold itself, which is why I'm saying it is dynamic. So output expect ही नहीं कर रहे हो ना. When the CK is low, you're not expecting any change in output. So what delay are we talking about? There is no delay of any consequence there. No? This is the state in which any input change is not even sampled because my CK is low. There's no delay I'm worried about over here. The only delay that I will ever see is when this inverter, this PMOS, let us say, has to drive both this capacitance and the output capacitance. So that delay is always constant. And even if it were not, I will qualify one as propagation delay, the other as contamination delay. It can still be managed by the tools. You cannot do anything about the input capacitance. There is no contamination input capacitance and propagation input capacitance. There is just one input capacitance that the tool understands. Hana?
So can I not design by considering the worst case for input capacitance also then?
Okay, if you design with the worst case for the input capacitance, then what you say is, then what you will end up saying is that, okay, I have a capacitance of 100 femtofarads over here. So this is the kind of delay I will see. Okay, so you will say this is the kind of delay I will see. Whereas finally this capacitance goes to only 10. So this delay goes to say 1/5 of TD. You are talking about pipelining. हमने pipelining already शुरू कर दिया ना. So you had some logic over here, and clock was going to. So we will discuss this aspect in more detail there. But why is contamination delay called contamination delay? I'm just starting to go into detail of a little bit of detail for that. So you designed everything. You put in delay stages over here so that your setup definition over here was met. Okay. Now you say that, okay, my input now takes just 1/5 of the earlier time to reach here. Now clock is arriving late only because you had made it late so that your setup is not violated. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, since the new input will arrive in 1/5 the delay, you are constrained. The new input will corrupt the previous input.
Yes, sir.
So you cannot really consider worst case capacitance in your circuits. You want to estimate the exact capacitance, and that is how you want to proceed.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So we will cover this aspect, timing sequencing, either in the later part of today's lecture or in the next lecture. So this thing will be more clarified then. ठीक है, आगे बढ़े.
And sir, one more thing, what we meant by restoring and non-restoring?
Restoring and non-restoring means that the output will not be driven to 1 or full ground.
Okay.
So in this case, it's full VDD to ground. So that's why it's called restoring. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. आगे बढ़े. So then we say that, okay, I do not want a dynamic latch. I want something to hold the contents of the latch. So what I say is, let me put a tri-state feedback. So why a tri-state feedback? Because I want to switch this off when the forward path is on. Only when the forward path, only when the clock cuts this off, this circuit goes active, and now my latch holds the data as it is. So now you've taken care of the problem of output being dynamic also. Are you able to see this?
So could you explain the like the clock is connected as the VDD of the second inverter at the like
not
the
VDD.
feedback.
Oh. So you have not seen the tri-state latch earlier. Okay.
So not the symbol and the
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So a tri-state latch is something like this. No, not this. So you will say there is CK, and so in this case, so there is CK and there is CK bar, and this is your input and this is your output. So what happens when the CK is high? That is when this path is driving, this PMOS is off, this NMOS is off. This latch does not drive X. Are you with me? When CK is high, CK bar is low, at that point of time, this latch is off. It is not driving X.
Yeah, everything is in cutoff, yeah.
But when my CK goes low, this cuts off, and CK goes low means this turns on, this turns on. And now there is this kind of an inverter which is latching the output. Are you able to see this? So now, even if some charge from here gets discharged, even if some noise comes, this feedback tri-state will ensure that it doesn't bother us. So now I have taken care of the dynamic nature of the latch, and therefore for the first time we are calling this latch as static.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So what's the benefit of using a tri-state latch, tri-state buffer instead of a simple inverter with a transmission gate?
So Setu, if I had a transmission gate over here, and so यहाँ पे आपका CK आया, ये CK bar आया, sorry, CK bar and CK, and let us say I had a simple inverter over here. That is what you're saying?
A simple inverter followed by a tri-state buffer.
So ये inverter followed by a
sorry, followed by a transmission gate, not buffer. Sorry, my mistake.
यहाँ पे, so this is what you are saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this can be done. You tell me what is the disadvantage or advantage of this.
I am not able to see why there would be any disadvantage or advantage at all.
So we wouldn't be able to get rid of the dynamic nature of the latch which we had earlier.
No, you will be, because for this transmission gate you will put CK over here and CK bar over here. You would be able to do that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
है ना? So that is not a challenge.
Probably the area, I mean.
Area, yes, because area you will see there is a slight gain in area when you go to the tri-state implementation. Additionally, when you make a separate transmission gate, there is an additional capacitance that you are handling over here. You see this? Then there is an additional switching. So whenever, suppose this input changes, suppose this input is changing randomly, my clock is high and this input is changing randomly, so this inverter will also toggle. It will consume power. It will not drive anything back over here, that is fine, but this inverter will consume power. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
So by using a tri-state, you take care of such things also.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So are you able to see this? So we moved from a simple pass transistor logic to a circuit which has how many transistors over here? 8 transistors over here. And we still haven't solved the problem of diffusion input on D. So what do we do?
Convert this also into a tri-state buffer.
Okay, you could convert it into a tri-state buffer or simply put a buffered input.
Put an inverter before, yeah.
But so now we discussed na ki tri-state buffer would be better one.
Yeah, tri-state buffer would be better one. But just to show. So in practice, you will see that this is very commonly used as a latch. That is what you will see in practice. But as I'm introducing the concepts in sequence, this looks more logical. ना मैं एकदम से आपको ट्रांसमिशन गेट से सीधा ट्राई स्टेट दिखा दूंगा, फिर आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे. I'm just saying
Okay,
ये
thank
पहले
you.
का था. Just add an inverter, you've taken care of the input thing also. ठीक है? So this is your latch. This also fixes the problem of diffusion input. This is a fully static circuit. It is non-inverting. जो आपने D पे डाला वही Q पे आएगा. So it takes care of all the disadvantages that we talked about till now. But this has 10 transistors now. But it's fine, because today functionality at low voltages and everything is much more important than all the 1 or 2 transistor gain that you may have. Okay.
Sir, so just
yes.
a single question, sir. In this symbol of this inverter, the bubble has been shifted towards the input. Is it effectively the same thing, or like is there some difference?
दोबारा से बोलो.
So generally in inverter the bubble is at the output, right? But if you see the feedback inverter,
नहीं, it's okay. वो देखो तुम यहाँ पे feedback नहीं, feed forward में भी bubble पीछे लगा दिया. That's the symbol.
yeah. Okay, that's just symbolic. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, don't bother about it.
So,
Yes.
so when we were putting the feedback, like the other person said that we can just put an inverter and a transmission gate. So my doubt is like why we are even putting transmission gate there? Like we can have a single inverter there and in the feedback loop.
Okay, let us consider that. So I have CK bar, CK, and I have this inverter and I have this latch over here, this inverter over here. Okay. Now suppose you want to transmit a 1 over here. What will happen? This was initially 0, this was 1. So the NMOS over here is on. All the charge that you give from here will actually sink down from here also. Are you able to see this? So if you do not have this as a tri-state and you have this as a simple inverter, this inverter will not let you write new data into the latch. Let us consider the opposite case. This was 1, this was 0, and you wanted to discharge the 1. Now, as you want to discharge the 1, this PMOS continues to give you more and more current. And it will not let you discharge 1.
But will it not depend on the sizes of the NMOS and PMOS in the inverter?
Yeah, so then what we are saying is, that if we do not do a controlled latch, then the sizing becomes important. Then things can fail at one particular PVT and they will pass at another PVT. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
We don't want that kind of a risk in standard cells. In fact, we don't want that kind of a risk anywhere. So, okay, when we will go forward towards the last lecture, we will talk about SRAM cells, and there we will see that the feedback is not really a tri-state. The feedback is a inverter only, and that leads to a lot of problems for the memory cell. That is where next semester I will be taking a course on memory design, entire course on memory design, because the memory cell is that issue there, because you remove 2 transistors. Okay. So we do not want to enter into any such complexity when we do standard cells. Therefore, we use a tri-state.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, can you please explain the concept of diffusion input once again?
The concept of diffusion input. आपको क्या नहीं समझ में आया अभी तक? पहले ये बताओ.
सर, मुझे ये समझ आ गया कि हम ट्रांसमिशन गेट के बाद इन्वर्टर लगा रहे हैं ताकि हमारी नॉइस बेटर हो जाए. बट अब हम इन्वर्टर पहले क्यों लगा रहे हैं ट्रांसमिशन गेट के, ये थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है.
अच्छा, तो आपको अगर मैं कहूँ इन्वर्टर छोड़ दो, अगर मैं कहूँ कि यहाँ पे मेरा एक ट्रांसमिशन गेट है, इधर सी के बाहर जा रहा है, इधर सी के जा रहा है, तो यहाँ पे डी है, यहाँ पे क्यू है. आर यू एबल टू सी दैट दिस इज अ प्रॉब्लम और नॉट येट?
यस सर, ये तो पता चल गया, ये डिसएडवांटेज है।
हाँ, बस तो जो ही आपने इन्वर्टर के जो ही आपने इस ट्रांसमिशन गेट के पहले एक इन्वर्टर लगा दिया, तो क्या हुआ? तो आपने ये कह दिया कि जो मेरा इनपुट आएगा वो हमेशा खाली इस इन्वर्टर के गेट को ही टॉगल करेगा, independent of whatever the signal, whatever the other input is, that is whatever the status of clock, independent of the status of clock, my D will always see this as the capacitance. So
Yes,
the
sir.
diffusion input problem is solved.
Okay, sir.
Diffusion input problem थी ही सारी है कि because of change in other inputs, your input capacitance of other inputs can change. This is what you do not want. And this is how it solves it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
ठीक है, आगे
Sir?
बढ़े. Yes.
Sir, but like अभी जो हमने यहाँ पे अभी डिस्कस किया केस with the buffer input and the tri-state logic, we still have the problem of the back driving, right? We still haven't overcome
Why?
that problem.
Why? I have a tri-state over here. It is off when this pass gate is on. So what will drive anything back?
Off तो
है ना, हमने यही तो देखा. हम इन्वर्टर क्यों नहीं लगा रहे थे? Because we did not want a back driving. वही तो मैंने प्रॉब्लम अभी इन्वर्टर वाली एक्सप्लेन करी थी.
हाँ बता रहे थे. अच्छा हाँ ठीक है आप. ओके.
It is the same thing. इन्वर्टर लगाता तो बैक ड्राइविंग हो रहा होता.
Essentially Q आपका ड्राइव कर रहा था X को.
हाँ, जो कि आपको नहीं चाहिए. X को ही नहीं, वो X को ही नहीं है. वो तो अगर आपने यहाँ पे D ना लगाया होता तो यहाँ भी करता. बैक ड्राइविंग की प्रॉब्लम आपकी D की वजह से भी हट गई है, इन्वर्टर की वजह से भी हट गई है, बट आपने प्राइमरीली यहाँ पे ट्राई स्टेट लगाया ताकि सवाल ही ना पैदा हो.
हाँ ठीक है. ओके. या है.
ठीक है, आगे बढ़े. So now imagine that I have to put a very big load over here. So if I have to put a very big load over here, what happens? I have to size this transistor up. Now, if I size this transistor up, just to make this latch okay, I have to end up sizing this also up. Otherwise, feedback का कुछ रोल ही नहीं बचेगा. Just the leakage of this particular gate will start to toggle the latch or can do something like that. So my latch will become very asymmetric. So to improve the noise margin, I need to size this up, which means I end up giving a lot of area. To avoid that problem, what we do is we say that the latch is simply a hanging latch. Input comes and goes to the output. It does not even interface with the latch. Okay. Are you able to see this? So now your SLM of the latch has increased very, very significantly. Now you're not worried about things toggling on the Q pin or anything else happening. You are able to ensure that your size of the flop is small enough and you're able to drive large loads also. Okay.
So what is SLM?
I'm sorry.
So what is SLM? SLM. What's the full form? SLM.
Static noise margin. So for any latch, for that matter, when the latch is in its operation, noise on either side can lead to flipping the contents of the latch. So we talk about something that is called as a butterfly curve. You may have read about it in your earlier course or somewhere. We will anyway talk about it in the later part of this course, and definitely in much more detail in the memory design course. So if your latch is asymmetric, what happens is this butterfly curve becomes like this. And SNM is the maximum square you can put in this lobe, one of these lobes. So since the square size reduces, your noise margin reduces. And this is what you do not want. So you want to have a symmetric latch so that your noise margin, your noise immunity is high. Okay. So यहाँ पे buffered the output separately altogether. ठीक है. So अभी तक हमने latch को देख लिया. Now we will start to look at the flip-flop. So, sorry, this is repeat. We've already seen this. So now we look at the flip-flop design. What is a flip-flop? Flip-flop is essentially a pair of back-to-back latches. Okay? And now over here, what you have done is, this was the latch that we were talking about. Not exactly this. जो भी हमने पिछले सेक्शन में बात करी, उसमें हमने इसको अपना लैच माना था. ठीक है? Now you say that you have a master-slave kind of a combination. Hello. And you make a flip-flop. Flip-flop is built as a pair of back-to-back latches. Okay? How does a flip-flop function? How does the flip-flop function? ये तो आप सब कर चुके हैं पहले.
It's triggered.
So when the clock is supposedly high, then the first latches the samples the input, and when the clock goes low in the very small instance, the second one also samples it. So at exactly the edge, both will sample and like you would get stored.
Yes. So I have two level sensitive. Latches. One is sensitive to the low edge, the first one. The other is sensitive to the high edge. So high level. So essentially, when the clock changes, I get to sample my information at those edges. ठीक है? Since any change when the clock level is high or low will not get reflected on the output. Any change will get reflected at the edge of the clock. The flip-flop is edge triggered. By ensuring that this first latch and the second latch are controlled. Over here, for example, when CK is equal to low, and over here when CK is equal to 1. They become transparent only at such instances. This becomes a edge triggered system. Okay, so this is something that you've already done, so I will not detail more about it. It has within it all the other things that we just discussed about the latch. So everything else is taken care of over here. Okay. Now
the
we go
second
to
figure on bottom includes everything, right? The buffered input, the buffered output, and the
yes, it
trash
includes
rate
everything.
combination.
Yes. It includes everything. This is not dynamic. So this one is still dynamic.
Yes.
The first one is still dynamic, and the second one we've taken care of the dynamic thing also. So the noise, this is very, very robust, and this is what was used. But we use much more than this. Why? Because at in a big SOC, the clock would go to every flop. Not every flop needs to act. There are some parts of the SOC which are active, the other parts are inactive. You do not want the clock, those flops to toggle and power to be wasted there. So what we need to do is, we need to put an enable signal. Okay. So enable signal is something like this, a multiplexer based design where you say there's a multiplexer which would make it enabled, or in reality you would actually just gate the clock with the an enable signal. Typically this is what you will do, but in interviews someone may ask you, okay, I give you a latch, I want you to make it enable, and you can use any other gate, multiplexer or anything. You make it, they will say, they can specifically tell you how will you use a multiplexer to control the enable pin of a latch. So that is how you have to design. Okay, so typically clock gating design is what is used, because this is lesser area. To design a mux will take more number of gates. ठीक है? आगे बढ़े?
So why does clock gating increase the setup time? Is it just because that AND gate का भी वहाँ पे वो delay and उसको timing को constrain करना पड़ेगा?
Yes. So actually तुम अगर ध्यान दो तो enable का setup time यहाँ भी ज़्यादा ही है. This mux is not with zero delay ना. Mux would also have some delays in it.
हाँ सही बात है. Yes.
है ना? Mux would also have some delays in it. But in this implementation, it is clearly evident that clock is mixing with enable. So when the clock comes, enable has to definitely come before that.
Okay.
In reality, this is the case over here also. Look at it. अगर enable नहीं होगा तो आपका D driven नहीं होगा.
वहाँ पे enable को पहले है होना पड़ेगा D से या फिर कुछ उससे.
हाँ. Setup time. Exactly. तो setup time वहाँ भी है, but वो setup time दिखता नहीं है.
Okay.
वो setup time दिख नहीं रहा है क्योंकि वो एक अलग ब्लॉक का है. वो मक्स के साथ कहीं मिक्स होके आ रहा है. There are other components also, तो वो सब मिक्स होके कुछ पिच हो जाता है. तो people miss that thing. But in reality, there is no difference. In reality, there is no difference, and therefore people prefer to use this.
Okay.
Okay. So then you also may want to set or reset the flip-flop, which means you again need to have either the reset pin going at the input or in the latch. When you have it at the input, the reset will happen after the clock comes. When you have it inside the latch, the reset will happen asynchronously. As soon as reset comes, your latch is reset. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
So depending on what your system requires, you may want to use the first or the second implementation of a set reset flop. Okay. So if you want to actually design a set reset flop, that is, you want to really control the output, then you have to have an AND gate. So this is an asynchronous one. NAND gate, sorry. You have to have a NAND gate and also a, what do we call this? Controlled NOR gate, whatever. So it becomes a little more complex. So वो simple सा latch जो हमने यहाँ देखा था, so latch तो हमने यहाँ देखा था, this is a simple latch. This becomes so complex when you come to a flop design. And अभी भी ये आधा है. In reality, when you go to the ST library that you have already installed in the system, you will see there are test inputs. There are test inputs. There are scan, enable, and so on. So there are other things also which are put inside the flop, but we're just not going into that complexity abhi. Okay. So when you will do the course on VDF, the VDF course, you will see that they will talk about scan flops. So what is done is there is a multiplexer over here. Instead of this, there is a multiplexer जहाँ पे आपका एक scan input आएगा, यहाँ पे scan enable आएगा और data आएगा. So when scan enable is low, data will go in. When scan enable is 1, scan in will go in. And this queue will go to scan. So a completely different test flow design is done that you will see in VDF course. Okay. So you can just go and for your knowledge sake, you can just go and check the library and that we have over there already installed in our system, and you will see there are so many variants of flip-flops that exist, and each has its own. Some will have an additional multiplexer, some will have something at an additional inverter at the output, so it gives a Q bar as an output, and so on. Okay. So now what we saw till now was that you needed both the rising or the clock and the clock bar in your design. So for all practical purposes, you would either have two clock trees running in parallel, or in every flop you will have a pair of inverters or a set of inverters which will be generating clock bar. Okay, so that means there is a loss of area and or power. If there are two clock trees, then power bhi bahut sari ja rahi hai. If there is just one clock tree, then area to ja hi raha hai, power bhi ja rahi hai, because anything on the clock, any circuit you put on the clock pin would have activity factor of 1. Clock toggles twice in every cycle. Once rises, once falls. So given that, there is a strong interest to see if we could have flops with only one polarity of clock. Okay, so we have true single phase clocks, TSPC flip-flops, where if you notice this latch, so this is latch, we will go to the flop next. So in this latch, this is transparent when CLK is 1, and this latch, the other one, is transparent when CLK is 0. So these are TSPC latches, and similarly you have TSPC flops. Is this are you able to see that this is a single phase clock and you still have the latch functionality over here?
This would still be dynamic, na?
Yes, this is still dynamic, but it has single phase of clock.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to make it static, you will have to have a feedback something over here.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
ठीक है, आगे चले.
Sir, but if the clock goes low, as in over here in this case, let's say the first वाला case only, sorry, the latch वाला case में अगर हमारा clock low जाता था शुरू में, तो हमारा output would be charged to VDD, right? So because that would getting the VDD path over here in the second.
No, latch is level sensitive. So when output is when clock goes to low, then my output will be fixed to whatever it is. So over here, when the clock goes low, this would go off, this would go off. Okay. So if my input was, let us say 1, let us say my input was 1. So this, it means this had been 0. Input was 1. Okay, this remains 0. This PMOS is on. This will continue to charge out.
That would
Let us
also
say, yeah. So let us say now that input goes to 0.
Okay.
Input goes to 0. So this PMOS will now charge this.
1.
So this becomes 1. This becomes 1, but there is nothing to discharge the PMOS. So this out will continue to remain at the initial value.
Right, it is holding also. So
therefore, अभी जो सेतु ने पूछा that this is the dynamic. Yes, this is the dynamic latch.
Exactly.
Because it is holding its information on a capacitor.
But sir, in case of input being 1 and clock being 0, ये जो पहले वाले इन्वर्टर का जो आउटपुट है सर, ये हाई इम्पीडेंस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि उसको तो ग्राउंड से भी पाथ नहीं मिलेगा.
हाँ, तो पहले अभी आउटपुट हाई इम्पीडेंस हो गया, अदरवाइज ये हाई इम्पीडेंस था. Suppose 1 था और clock चली गई. Now this is floating. This is being stored on a capacitor. Now this is 0 is being stored on a capacitor. And therefore this is being held.
सर हाई इम्पीडेंस जो भी स्टेट होती है उसको हम क्या कंसीडर कर सकते हैं कि ये 0 होगी या 1 होगी?
कुछ भी नहीं, जो भी आपके कैपेसिटर में स्टोर था वही होगा। एंड इट इज सेंसिटिव टू नॉइज। नॉइज आएगी तो वो हिल जाएगा, लीकेज होगा तो वो खराब हो जाएगा। दैट इज वेयर इन डायनामिक गेट्स वी पुट लेवल रिस्टोरर्स एंड कीपर्स एंड एवरीथिंग ना, है ना?
Sir,
Yes.
so why aren't we using just the half of the circuit? Why have we copy pasted twice?
Which one? So this is negative latch.
No,
This is
so
positive latch.
even in the positive latch, why not just use the first 3 transistors and not the second? I am not able to see why I need the last 3 transistors as well.
Oh, अभी तो दिखाया था. Now what does a latch mean? A latch means that whatever change at the input, the output will not change.
Yes, yes.
Now let us say the second thing was not there. Let us say this was not there. Let us say this is your output.
Okay.
Let us say this is your output. Now your input was 1. Clock goes to 0. Clock goes to 0 means input is held at 1 on a capacitor.
Yes, yes.
Now input goes to 0. At once your output will go to 1.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, now.
So it's not a latch. If you have just one of these, then it's not a latch.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So in the TSPC kind of a scenario, you can also put logic there. So you can have AND latches, NAND latches, and so on. Okay. So you can use this kind of a thing in TSPC latches. So जो हमने अभी कहा कि हमारे को क्लॉक के साथ enable signal mix करना था, so this could be one good way to do it. ठीक है. And this is the TSCC flip-flop. Over here, what we've done is clock goes to this gate, these 2 gates, and this gate. And you will see, just see for yourself that this has the flip-flop functionality. Again, this is dynamic in nature. There are nodes which are floating. And abhi kal hi, we were discussing, so what we are doing is we are designing a near threshold voltage library in one of our projects. So we're trying to see how we can reduce dynamic power of a flop. TSPC sounds like a very good idea because in TSPC, you only have one clock polarity. So you do away with the inverters, you do away with lots of power. So it helps us save power. 20 to 30% of power per flop we could save. But we realized that because the nature of this latch is dynamic, what started to happen was our circuit started to have very high currents, basically short circuit paths when the inputs were in just short circuit paths when the inputs were randomly changing. Okay, so that is what we do not want to happen. Okay, so this is another kind of latch which is called as C2MOS latch. Hello, what is happening? It is as if someone else is controlling the movement of the slides. So this is C2MOS latch, where again there is only this has much lesser number of transistors there. You have tri-states. This is also dynamic in nature, and you will need to add keepers to make it pseudo-static. Okay. So this is another latch which has much lesser number of transistors, but since there are 2 polarities of clock, not much is saved in terms of clock power. Okay.
So keepers essentially, as in you are just having a feedback kind of a tri-state which was restoring that level.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah. Nothing else. In fact, you will need to probably have a positive keeper and a negative keeper both. आपको NMOS और PMOS दोनों तरह के keeper चाहिए होंगे. आपको full inverter ही लगाना पड़ेगा शायद. Yes.
Okay. So this is a flip-flop, right? As a circuit on the slide.
This is a latch.
Wouldn't the master state sample at?
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. So master stage and slave stage. So it's a total in it's a flip flop, but just
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of these is a latch. Yeah.
So this is like the dynamic latch which we consider in the dynamic flip flop, the first design which we had. So I mean, we just converted that into a tri-state buffer instead of a inverter and then a transmission gate.
Yeah. ये वही कर दिया उन्होंने, and it will have lots of those dynamic वाला problems there. So वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, इसको अब ऑपरेट करने के लिए you will need to put a inverter kind of stuff over here and stuff like that. तो फायदा होगा नहीं. So it has its own challenges. It has its own challenges. So in very specific cases only you will use this kind of a flip flop, where you have a particular set of inputs and you know that the inputs are very controlled, they will not move in random directions. So then you can use this. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So the benefit of C2 MOS, so what is the benefit of this kind of a register or a flop? It is that even if there is an overlap in the two clocks, there is no short circuit currents. The inputs are there is no challenge that you will see at the output. But otherwise, all the other problems that this is dynamic in nature and everything exists. So let us say there is a 1-1 overlap on the clock. Okay. 1-1 overlap on this clock and on this flop. So one CK is 1, so this is 1. On the other side, this CK bar will take this to 1. The PMOSes will be off, and therefore you will not really have any corruption of data. See, this is, आपको समझ में आया मैंने क्या कहा अभी, या मैंने जल्दी बोल दिया सब कुछ?
Sir, your pointer was not visible.
I moved very fast, है ना? So, see, in a typical flip flop, when you have overlap between positive or CK and CK bar. So if there is an overlap in CK and CK bar, this kind of an overlap, this is a tricky situation. This is a tricky situation because we said that this overlap is minimal or almost zero, and therefore we said that my flip-flop is edge triggered. But when there are these overlaps there, what happens? My flip-flop actually is no longer just edge triggered, but it is sampling at these small pulses. Okay, so when the clock goes high, my first part will become transparent, and there is a possibility that it will corrupt the output before my the slave stage becomes opaque. So there is a time lapse between the master becoming transparent and the slave becoming opaque because they are governed by the opposite edge of the clocks. C2 MOS latch or C2 MOS flop does not have that kind of a problem. This is truly edge triggered. Kaise? If there is a 0-0 overlap, let us say. So 0-0 overlap means CLK is 0, so this is on, this is going to be off. CLK is 0, so this is going to be off, and this is going to be off. ठीक कर रहा हूं मैं?
ऊपर वाला ऑन होगा ना?
CLK 0 तो नहीं, यहाँ पे PMOS पे है ना?
अच्छा,
ठीक है. So बट यहाँ पे हमने सर्किट ये क्यों बनाया? हाँ, ये भी ऑफ होगा.
वो X वाला बेसिकली कहना चाह रहा होगा 0 है प्रॉब्ली, X वाला जो नोड है.
हाँ, उसने वो X नोड को 1 कर दिया है. नहीं, इसने यहाँ पे दोनों पे 1 लगा दिया. ऐसा क्यों करा उसने? एक तरफ तो 0 है.
आप वाला देख रहे हो
सर 1-1 वाला
0-0.
हाँ, सॉरी. यहाँ पे देखना है. हाँ, तो यहाँ पे ये ऑफ हो गया, यहाँ पे ये ऑफ हो गया. तो आपका even though there is some change at the input of this M5, output doesn't change. ठीक है, even if there is an overlap, the sampling is at the edge only. Same you can say about 1-1 overlap. ठीक है, so that is how this C2 MOS architecture is insensitive to clock overlaps.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, sir, in C2MOS, but now there is this issue now. So if there is some overlap, the value stored at X would now change, right?
Yeah.
And if the value stored at X change, as soon as the overlap is resolved, my output will then change because this X can now control this M6 and M5.
So now the value at X would change, and
Right, I didn't want my X to, because see, if X changes, then my output will also change.
हाँ, बट ये वाला पार्ट तो ओपेक हो जाएगा ना, सेकंड पार्ट तो ओपेक हो जाता है एकदम से. The first part remains transparent in a flip flop. The first phase of the latch, the master would remain transparent in the cycle, and the second part becomes opaque. That is what samples it at the rising edge or the falling edge.
So at this, after the sampling edge, the slave becomes transparent. Now, because before the sampling edge, master will sample it, and after the sampling edge, slave will be transparent. है ना?
हाँ.
हाँ, तो अब now the issue is कि after my sampling edge, since my slave is transparent and slave का input which was X has now changed. Now my Q will change.
So D was, let us ऐसा देखते हैं. D was initially 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And मेरा क्लॉक हाई जाना था, तो मेरे को 0-0 ओवरलैप देखने की जरूरत है. फिर मेरा क्लॉक हाई जाना था, क्लॉक बार लो जाना था, तो मैं एक्चुअली 1-1 ओवरलैप के केस में आ गया. यहाँ आते हैं, ठीक है. सो लेट अस से D was initially 1. D was initially 1 means this X got discharged. X is storing 0. ठीक है. Now when clock goes high, this clock bar has remained 1 for some more time.
Right.
ठीक है. Clock goes high, this clock bar has remained 1 for some more time. This was 0, but this does not do anything to Q yet. And अब D अगर toggle भी करेगा, तो this X is not changing.
Oh, right. X will not change, right?
X will not change, so that really there is really not a problem there.
Okay. Thank you. And so just one more thing. So shouldn't my normal flip-flop should also hold this property, because effectively all I have, the difference between C2MOS and the normal one is just I have a feedback path. Other than that, it is effectively the same.
Yeah. So no.
So the use of that tri-state buffer, उससे हमारा X की वैल्यू बीच में चेंज हो जाएगी फर्स्ट वाले लैच से, अगर हम लोग नॉर्मल केस लेंगे तो.
अगर नॉर्मल केस लेंगे, हाँ नॉर्मल केस लेंगे तो
M4 will get on और वो VDD के थ्रू वो चार्ज करेगा X को.
Yes.
अगर D टॉगल होता है तो.
ठीक है. So we'll stop here. In the next class we will start with the timings. Okay. And then we will also talk about sequencing, overheads, setup time, hold time, and everything. Okay. We will stop here. We looked at all the different architectures of flops. Okay, so there you will find many more architectures, but we've looked at some common architectures, and we know that the standard flop is the best one, most robust one. Okay, everything else would have some challenges. They're dynamic, they could have short circuit currents, they could have others, but in specific use cases they could be interesting to use. ठीक है.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, if I take my normal flip-flop and so can you go to that slide? I guess I can change that a bit to make it also insensitive to the overlap. Can you go to that slide, please? Sure.
Which one?
The normal flip-flop design which we did, the vanilla one.
Let us go to this one. Yeah.
So you aren't presenting anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. I just realized. So The class is practically finished. Yeah, this is the one that you're talking about. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So in this, so if we take this in the middle transmission gate between the master and the slave, and instead of connecting this, what I do is I take an inverter output from X and then connect this transmission gate to that, and then that feeds into my slave one. So wouldn't that still retain my overlap property? Effectively, it's the same circuit. Only I have now this restorers effect. So that should still hold my overlap thingy.
Yeah. Just okay. So practically speaking, Setu, what we have done is we have this one tri-state over here, and this is, you may say, the other tri-state. ये है तो C2MOS combination ही.
Right.
It practically is that. Just that you do not make it as a tri-state. You have this feedback path in there. You're able to see my pen markings.
Yes.
You're able to see the path point, है ना?
Yeah.
So practically वही चीज है. यहाँ पे वो problem इतना नहीं आएगा, but यहाँ पे number of transistors बहुत सारे थे. In other cases, this could still be a problem.
So, sir, then what I'm not able to understand that why this one is sensitive to overlap, because it's the same circuit, right? Just it's all I have is extra feedback. Then why is it that this makes it sensitive to overlap?
Sensitive to overlap because of it is not as much in terms of disturbing the output. It is more in terms of short circuit currents that can happen at different places.
Okay.
Or the fact that this is not fully on or this is not fully off, there could be some leakage of information from this side to that side and so on. Suppose both are 1 1. Both are 1 1 means this is 1 and this is 0. PMOS is not yet on.
Okay.
Both are 0 0 means this is on, this is off. So this is not really what you think of when you think of a transmission gate. Now, transmission gate is supposed to operate when 1 is 1 and 1 is 0.
Yeah.
So when that doesn't happen, there are resistive paths and there could be chances of data corruption.
I mean, then okay, I can make the same argument about C2MOS as well.
C2MOS में तो अभी हमने देखा there is no current ना. C2MOS में यही तो हमने देखा.
There is no current flow, right? Because दोनों साइड से path टूट जाता है. So even in this case also the path would break, right?
Actually यहाँ पे क्योंकि ये inverters बीच में आ गए हैं ना सेतु.
हाँ.
These inverters still offer that path. एक मिनट. These inverters, इनके जो NMOSes हैं, they will still have some path that can come.
So that's sorry, go ahead.
That leads to those spurious paths.
Okay, so that's why I was saying that just instead of connecting this in front of an inverter, just pull one line out of X and convert this into a tri-state buffer and then feed it into slave.
Okay, so what you're saying is, इसको ऐसे लेके जाओ. ऐसा कुछ. Hello?
Hello, yes, like this.
तो फिर आपने चार ट्रांजिस्टर्स और बढ़ा दिए थे तो.
हाँ, दो बड़े ना, बिकॉज इन्वर्टर के दो लगे. अच्छा, हाँ, इन्वर्टर के दो लगे.
आपको लैच तो चाहिए था ना, ये वाला लैच तो आपको चाहिए ही.
राइट.
आपने ये इंट्रास्टेट ऐड करा.
हाँ, so if I am adding the tri-state, I can remove this transmission gate, na, because then that is redundant.
Okay, then we can remove. हाँ, फिर वो कर सकते हैं. Yes.
Right, and this
two transistors. You increase 2 transistors.
That's sure. I will increase transistor, but I will get some sort of benefit of having like
overlap. You will have the C2MOS. You will have C2MOS kind of a topology then. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
अभी भी वो artificially हो रही है, but not exactly. That is where this could do it. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
ठीक है? Yeah.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt in project. Sir, means to satisfy the 12
track. Is it okay if I
track.
stop the recording? Is it okay? Chalo, please ask.
Yeah. To satisfy the 12 track library, I size my PMOS and NMOS quite significant, and still I was getting the input capacitance in attofarads, around 0.9 attofarads.
Okay.
So to fulfill the requirement of around 5 femtofarad, I have to break it into fingers. So is it okay to just fulfill the input capacitance?
इनपुट कैपेसिटेंस का जो स्पेक है वो मैक्सिमम इनपुट कैपेसिटेंस का स्पेक है.
Okay.
यू डू नॉट नीड टू इनपुट कैपेसिटेंस आप बढ़ाना थोड़ा ना चाहोगे. कम आ रही है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it is okay if it is 0.9 femtofarad, around 0.9 femtofarad. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You give me 0 femtofarads, I'm happier.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
बट सर जैसा अगर जो कम भी आ रही है इनपुट कैपेसिटेंस, तो अगर जो मेरा इलेक्ट्रिकल एफर्ट होगा, जैसे मैं कोई मीडियम लोड ड्राइव करना चाहता हूँ, तो उसके हिसाब से अगर मेरी इनपुट कैपेसिटेंस बहुत कम होगी तो स्टेज एफर्ट बहुत ज्यादा आ जाएगा सर. मैं कल चेक कर रहा था सर, एक अपने लॉजिकल एफर्ट उसका निकाल के, तो वो स्टेज एफर्ट.
अभी आप कंफ्यूज हो रहे हो. See, you're only looking at metal capacitance. Am I right? There is a gate capacitance also, device capacitance also that will come into picture. या अगर आप device capacitance देख रहे हो तो जो ही आप थोड़ा सा metal जुड़ाओगे, थोड़ा सा ही metal जुड़ाओगे, 2-3 femtofarads तो वहीं से ऐड हो जाएगा. करके देखो. Draw something and extract it. You will see the input capacitance will not be anything less than 1 to 2 femtofarads. आएगी. Automatically आएगी. Don't worry.
जो अपने मेरे डिले का जो कंस्ट्रेंट है कि डिले कितना रखना सर, मतलब 50 पिको मतलब 50 पिको सेकंड के आसपास का डिले चाहिए. आपने सर एक क्लास में ऐसा बोला था कि 10 से 50 पिको सेकंड तक के डिले मतलब होना चाहिए.
मैंने ऐसा बोला था? ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता. हर गेट का अलग डिले होता है. मैं ऐसे एक कॉमन स्पेक कैसे दे सकता हूँ?
नहीं, आपने बोला था कि एनीथिंग वुड बी एनीथिंग बिटवीन 10 पिको सेकंड टू 50 पिको सेकंड वुड बी ए गुड स्पेक. ऐसा कुछ मुझे याद है, पता नहीं, मेरे को फिर से लेक्चर देखना पड़ेगा शायद.
तो देखो एक बार, क्योंकि मैंने लोड कैपेसिटेंस की टर्म्स में कहा था कि आप लोड कैपेसिटेंस जो कर रहे हो उसको 50 फेम्टोफैरेड्स के आसपास मान लो. एंड आपका जो स्लोप है दैट शुड बी गुड, यू नो, समथिंग लाइक 20 to 50 picoseconds ऑफ द स्लोप. आउटपुट स्लोप आपका वैसा होना चाहिए. दैट इज हाउ यू शुड साइज. डिले के टर्म्स में मैंने बात नहीं करी थी. स्लोप की टर्म्स में, स्ल्यू रेट की टर्म्स में बात करी होगी.
हेलो सर.
यस दिविशा.
सर एक्चुअली सर हमने ऐसे ही साइज किया था कि अभी हमने कोई कंस्ट्रेंट कंसिडर नहीं किया डिले या स्लोप के ऊपर. तो बेसिकली हमने इस तरीके से साइज किया सो दैट हमें एरिया पे भी मतलब इतना मतलब कॉम्प्रोमाइज ना करना पड़े और डिले भी हमें ऑप्टिमम मिले. सो दैट सर क्वेरीज के हमें कोई कंस्ट्रेंट तो कंसिडर नहीं करना ना डिले के ऊपर कि ओके, सो इट शुड बी इन द रेंज ऑफ picoseconds and slope भी input की term.
That is also not necessary. At different PVTs it will be very very different.
Yes,
ऐसे
yes,
कैसे
sir.
आप कह सकते हो?
Yes,
है
sir.
ना?
Yes, sir.
So don't get digressed by that. What we said
Okay.
was that in the slow PVT for a load of around 50 femtofarads, let the slope be within 50 picoseconds. That
Okay.
was what we said.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. Okay, got it. ठीक है.
Because अगर आपके डिजाइन में बहुत सारे इनपुट्स हैं, बहुत सारे स्टेजेस लगाने पड़ रहे हैं फॉर एग्जांपल, तो कैसे डिले के ऊपर हम वो लिमिट डाल सकते हैं ना?
Right, sir. Yes.
So I size keeping the worst case scenario in my mind, SS पे करूं और C load बीच का ले लूं
So you
कोई.
size keeping the area in mind.
Okay, तो PVT भी मैं optimal choose करूंगा.
Yeah, you size keeping the area in mind, and then you just check that the slope at SS, worst case, 1.08 volts, whatever voltage we have given you, at that your output slope is within 50 picoseconds. If it is not, then you need to resize. Then your area will increase. But
Output
the first thing is you size for minimum area. First
As in
is
the
you size for,
as in the rise time and the fall time.
yeah, rise time and the fall time. That should be
सर
very
मतलब यही था मेरे बोलने का मतलब कि अराउंड 50 पिकोसेकंड के आसपास का आना चाहिए. मतलब एक
Akshat, you are using the word delay.
Okay, okay.
I'm
Sorry,
talking
sorry,
of rise time and fall time. If you do not use the words accurately, I cannot answer. So you should learn. This is see, आप सोचो, आप एक कस्टमर को डिले बोल दोगे तो वो क्या करेगा?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand.
You are an engineer. You have to be exact. You cannot use these words interchangeably. They have a very strong meaning and significance. For example, in terms of how tools would use these values.
Yes, sir.
So
Sorry.
you learn to be exact. No, it's not about sorry. I'm just emphasizing to each one of you that exactness is important in engineering disciplines. So you have to be exact. Okay?
सर
Yes, I am.
सर तो मैं कल वो ट्राई कर रहा था जो आपने बोला कि राइस टाइम ऑन फॉल टाइम को 50 पिकोसेकंड के अप्रोक्स लाने की 50 फेम्टोफैरड के लिए, तो सर उस केस में मेरा इनमॉस का साइज सर बहुत ज्यादा रखने पर भी वो अप्रोक्स 77 पिकोसेकंड के आसपास आ रहा था। ऑलमोस्ट मेरा इनमॉस का साइज 10 माइक्रो के आसपास जा रहा था सर।
यस सर, सेम मेरे भी यही हो रहा है, 10 के आसपास, 10 माइक्रोमीटर के आसपास।
ओह, तो मत करो ऐसा। नहीं
सर इवन
आपका
फिंगर्स रखने पर भी ऐसा हो रहा है कि 2 फिंगर्स के बाद में तो डिले में भी ज्यादा चेंजेस नहीं हो रहे हैं, 3 फिंगर्स के बाद तो।
Yeah, that would happen. So, which cell are you working on?
सर मेरा AOI है, स्टैटिक है।
मेरा सर डोमिनो है।
So, did you consider using stages?
नो सर, सिंगल स्टेज पे।
नो
So,
सर,
single
सिंगल।
stage में अगर आपका 3 का स्टैक हो गया NMOS का, तो ऐसा होने लगेगा।
यस सर, तो उस केस में नंबर ऑफ स्टेज बढ़ाना पड़ेगा ना, राइट सर?
Use inverters after that.
ओके
है
सर,
ना?
ओके। यस सर।
So, you have to see which is better. So, you will see that using stages is better then.
राइट सर।
Okay?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
So, in the Rabi, it's written that the dynamic gates can only be used to implement the non-inverting logic, mainly used for implementing non-inverting logic. So, how exactly we got rid of that? I didn't understand.
So we used Nora logic, in which we said that if the first dynamic gate has PDN where the logic is implemented, in the next stage there will be PUN, pull-up network, in which the logic is implemented. So यहाँ से fall करेगा, वहाँ से rise करेगा. So this is how you will have 2 stages. One set of stages are N stages, the other set of stages are P stages.
Okay, sir. And so one more, I have a doubt in quiz. Like, there was a question related to how can we improve the performance and speed in mobile devices, power and performance in mobile devices. So I just wrote about the battery constraint, because since mobile devices are small, so we cannot have huge amount of battery. So is that a correct reasoning? Then I answered according to that part, that since battery is a constraint, so we should reverse bias low VT devices in sleep mode, and for high VT devices, we should forward bias so that our speed can be increased.
So what does the rubric say? You have the rubric with you.
Rubric said that we should use DCVSL. No, sorry, DVF is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So DVSS, and it must also have added something like standby mode के लिए sleep transistors or clock gating or something like that. पता नहीं.
I saw this.
Yeah. So see, it always depends on the context of the quiz. If the quiz is around that time, so as we cover more topics, you will get more answers and something like that. But there is a rubric. Go with that rubric.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I have a doubt in one of the logistics of the course. I was in we were earlier sticking to 10 quiz. Now we are moving to 13 quiz. We are done with 9. We have only 1 or 2 weeks left. How do we plan to have 13 quiz?
We may have 11 quizzes finally, and we will take best 8 out of 11. Instead of 10 out of 13, we will take 8 out of 11.
So we were taking 9 out of 13.
है?
हाँ 9 out of 13 था, तो 11 में से आप 7 कंसीडर करेंगे ना बस फिर, if you go by that logic. I mean.
क्यों? If I go by the percentage logic, I will still consider 8 out of 11 ना?
I mean 10 में से we were considering 7. And 11 में से we are
13 में से you are considering 9, then 11 में से we would be considering 7. नहीं?
Okay, ठीक है आप ठीक है. I mean,
don't worry, it doesn't matter. You give your best ना. Why are you worried?
ठीक है, so we'll stick to 11 quizzes, right?
Yeah, we will go to, if you want to extend the semester by 2 more weeks, that's a different thing. I don't intend to. So we wanted to have many more quizzes, but ठीक है, I think it's okay. I don't want to burden you because project भी चल रहा है. कितना करोगे?
सर आई मीन वन मोर थिंग, लाइक डू यू हैव एनी आइडिया कि कब तक हमारा सर्वर लाइक ठीक हो सकता है? लाइक मैंने कल लेआउट या फिर कुछ स्टार्ट करने की कोशिश करी, फिर हैंग हो गया, वो खत्म ही था बिल्कुल। आई मीन